Hi there, Pisces. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Astrogirl, and we're looking at June 1st through June 7. And there's quite a few happenings this week, all in fire and air signs. And being a water sign, this means that you can tend to feel a bit overwhelmed or swept along, and your thoughts and feelings aren't necessarily taken into consideration. You may have to yell up and speak up just that little bit louder over the next couple of weeks. Pisces, a difficult full moon and an important sign change for Venus are on this week's agenda. It may be harder than usual to figure out how to bring things to a happy conclusion because the Sagittarius full moon on Tuesday has a couple of issues that are all named Neptune. Of course, Neptune is in your sign and is your ruling planet. This full moon shows Neptune in a potentially dangerous square off with both the Sun in Gemini and the Moon. This pattern points to a time when being unrealistically cheerful is going to be a lot easier than looking your problems in the face and trying to solve them. Even if reality isn't a very pretty picture right now, this week is a time when it's crucial to stay real because the alternative could be one big mess. On Friday, June 5, Venus leaves Cancer, moving into Leo, where a retrograde next month will extend this planet's tour of the land of the lion into October. Now, Venus is going to retrograde in August and September, and so it's not going to be in full-on effect in Leo right through October. It's also going to retrograde back into Virgo, so it's going to be a really interesting Venus retrograde. We haven't had a Venus retrograde in quite a while, and of course Venus is the sign that is happiest when in Pisces, so she's in her exalted state. So it's going to definitely affect you. But as I said, let's talk more about it next week. We have to really get through the Mercury retrograde time. Mercury is out of phase in your fourth house of home and family. This is where some or all of your difficulties will be. If you're trying to sell your home, if you're trying to buy a home, if you're trying to rent a place, you may be finding that there's just roadblocks every step of the way and not much you can do about it. And there isn't much you can do about it until Mercury moves direct, June 11. So stop trying to force things and just go with the flow and realize that once Mercury moves direct, things will ease up. If you've got issues with your roommate or your flatmate, if you've got issues with neighbors, things like that, it's not a good time to go talk to them. It's not a good time to be giving them ultimatums and threats and all that sort of stuff, because you won't be able to come through on the other end if they keep doing whatever it is that they're doing. You simply won't be able to do that. So just be aware. If you know anyone born under the sign of Sagittarius, they are a sign that you could very much clash with over your view of something versus their view. They have very real, definite, black and white opinions about things. You're much more into the fantasy and into the gray areas and into maybe thinking of things in a good way and a good light with a positive spin, whereas Sagittarians pride themselves on telling the truth and nothing but the truth. So, you two are very different signs. Have a great week. Great speaking to you, Pisces, and I look forward to speaking to you again next week.